It is a packed four-way primary for the state Supreme Court, and the candidates all met for the first time today in a forum in Madison. Political reporter Will Keneally joins us from the Supreme Court chambers with more on what they had to say. Will?
That's right, Eric. As you mentioned, it is an absolute packed four-way primary here for those chambers that you can see right across the rotunda here from where I'm standing. And so it's essentially a two-sided primary. You have two liberals running on one side and two conservatives running on the other side, essentially making it two different primaries on either side of the political spectrum. And we heard the candidates speak to that today.
The maps are rigged, bottom line.
You don't often hear that from a judicial candidate, taking a clear position on a political issue like that. But Milwaukee Judge Janet Protasewicz is running in a primary election, trying to win over liberal voters.
So as I've indicated, I think those maps are rigged. I think they're unfair. I don't think they fairly reflect the population in our state.
And we heard a little bit of that from the other liberal in the race, Dane County Judge Everett Mitchell. This was his answer on whether he would let partisan influences affect his rulings.
And so I married that same-sex couple, and I pastor the only open and affirming congregation. Why? Because I'm independent, and I cannot be controlled by others, groups, or influences.
We also heard that answer from the conservative candidates, including former Justice Dan Kelly. He says he would let the law be his primary guide on decisions.
Politics is poison to the work of the court. Now, everybody who comes to the court, regardless of what they might tell you, everybody has political beliefs. The question is whether you can set them aside to do the work of the court.
We also heard from the candidates on various cases. Over the weekend, we learned that Waukesha Judge Jennifer Dorow stands on Lawrence v. Texas. She called this one of the worst decisions the U.S. Supreme Court made, which struck down a Texas law banning sodomy.
Sometimes the words or even the statutes themselves are stupid. But stupid doesn't mean unconstitutional. It doesn't matter to my job whether I like the words or even to agree with the law.
So this is the first time that we heard from all four candidates in the primary. They'll face each other in a February primary, and the top two, regardless of party affiliation, will face each other in the April general. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.